Alrighty, hey traders, welcome to. I think we're good to go, aren't we? Just doing a live stream today instead of just my recorded videos. There we go, fantastic. Alrighty, guys. So yes, as I said before, I'm doing a bit of a live stream today instead of using the pre-recorded videos. But I thought, as I said before, I thought I'd do a live stream and to come on and share with you what's happening with the markets right now, and a bit of a market update on what's going on right now in all these markets, and we can go from there. So that's what I want to do in today's live stream, guys, is just to give you guys a bit of a look at. We're going to be looking at the daily charts and the weekly charts, and we're going to be going from there as well too. So I'm really looking forward to today's live stream instead of doing the pre-recorded ones. As I said before, I thought I'd do a live stream for you guys. Now, before I do start, guys, let me just make sure that I can bring up my typical disclaimer, and then we're going to get started into today's session. Let's get here. Here we go, right here. All right, guys. So, guys, do not place trade based on what you're seeing in today's session today, because I'm not going to tell you to trade the market today. I'm just going to give you a bit of an update on the indices, and what's been happening with silver and gold, and stuff like that moving forward, and some other things we're going to be talking about as well too, to help you guys out moving forward in a big way there. So that's what I'm going to be talking about today, guys. But guys, trading is never about making money on one single trade anyway, and I hope you do realize that. If you've been following me for quite some time, or if you're just brand new to my stuff, trading successfully is never about making money on any given one trade. Trading successfully is about taking a quality setup every single time. So there's no guarantees of making a profit in the market. So just keep that in mind. Oh, I lost everything. All right, so there's my screen. Alrighty, guys. So let's get straight into it. What I want to do right now is I just want to get straight into. Let me bring up the charts. There we go. You guys can see the charts now, I'm pretty sure. Yep. All right, fantastic. Fantastic, you can see the charts. All right, cool. Also, guys, if you guys haven't, what I'm doing as well too is if you go down to johnsflashsale.com, johnsflashsale.com, there should be a link in the description as well too. I'm actually running a flash sale right now. So if you're struggling with your trading right now, if you're feeling stuck in your trading right now and you're not sure what to do, then I'm running a $7 sale. And you can go to this page here. You can see the countdown time. I'm doing it for 24 hours. And you can also see that here's what you get. And also you get access, and also you get a 30-day money back guarantee as well too. So go to johnsflashsale.com and grab the $7 breakthrough trading course and start to get that breakthrough in your trading. Anyway, so let's get straight into the markets right now. And let's actually go through what's going on right now in the markets. Now let's go through to the Dow Jones first. And I was analyzing this just recently, actually yesterday. I was looking at the markets. I'm just like, what's really going on right now in the markets? Because I'm looking at this daily chart here, and let me just bring up this here. All right, so we've got the weekly chart to the right. We've got the daily chart to the left here. And one thing that I like to do, guys, when I'm analyzing my charts is I like to squeeze them up. As you can see, right, I don't like to leave my charts wide open like this here. And the reason why I don't like that is because it just doesn't give me a true indication on what's really going on in the charts there. So what I like to do is I like to squeeze it up where I'm getting not squeezed up like that, so you can't see any data there, but maybe like 1 year. So that's actually pretty good for me. And what I'm looking at here is I'm looking at I'm looking at the overall markets. I'm looking at the overall markets. Okay, cool. I'm looking at these legs here on these markets here, and I'm saying, okay, we've had this move from this point through here to this point up through here. And when I look at that, I look at it as the markets used a lot of energy in the markets. And so if we've used a lot of energy going up through here, then I would say that right now that the market hasn't done enough time going sideways or a pullback for it to go for another run. So I wouldn't, so looking at this here, if I bring up my good old Snagit tool, I love Snagit, by the way. If I bring up my Snagit tool here, guys, and I look at this here. So this is the way that I analyze the markets. I can see that the market used a lot of energy going down, and then we had a lot of energy going back up again, right through there. That's what's called a V bottom through there. And you can see we had a little bit of a pullback. That wasn't enough pullback for this move up, because when we have a long move up, you think about the long move up as an energy. Okay, and think about the whenever the market goes for a long run in a direction like that, think about it as a fuel tank. Okay, think about it as a car, and think about it as, okay, the car has gone for a long trip. Okay, or think about let's use another analogy. Let's just say, for example, you go to the gym, and let's just say, for example, you go to the gym, but you do a very, very, very long workout. Okay, you are totally spent. So therefore, what happens? You generally need a really good resting phase right after that very big long workout, because you're totally spent with that, and to get ready to go for another good workout right at the gym. Well, that's how the markets work. If you see this here, so what I'm saying there is, as you can see, right, we had a very long move here. Call this a long workout, right? Call this period through here a long workout. And then we had just a little bit of a resting phase before we had to go again, right? And as you can see, right, it's like, that's how the workouts, right? We had a very long workout, and then we had a little resting phase, and then we just like, just a little bit more. And then the body said, I've had enough. Time out, and then it has a bit of a pullback. So that's the way that I look at the markets, as using that, because the market is like, it's like using the energy field there. So I'm seeing this market move up through here, and what could be forming through here, and it's very, very difficult to say right now, because we can't see what's going to happen here, but this could be right now. And the reason I'm about to say this is because I believe we haven't had enough time going sideways yet before we go for another run, either up or down. And so if we look at this here, this could be some sort of shoulder, head, and shoulder formation forming right here. And this could be some sort of right shoulder formation here. So on that daily chart, on this weekly chart over here, and this is where, guys, it's not black and white on what's really going on right now. Trading is never about black and white. But as you can see, right, this weekly chart had a big run up and then a big pullback, and now we're creating some sort of higher low. But due to the fact that we had this very long run up on this weekly chart, it tells me that we're not done. We're not done going sideways yet. So yes, we had a bit of a drop down, and we're having a bit of a buying move coming up through here. But I don't believe this here. I don't believe right now we're going to stop here. I'm going to just break up to all-time new highs and then continue higher. What I believe is going to happen, looking at the Dow Jones, is that we're likely to just spend more time going sideways, maybe to form a right shoulder. I don't know. But what I do know is that the market is now likely to spend a bit of time going sideways more throughout this entire, what we call through here, right? Throughout this entire time, going sideways more. Now, as you can see, right, that if this does start to turn into a right shoulder through here, then yeah, then look at below from that there. So that's what we're looking at through there on the Dow Jones through here. It's very, very tricky. It's very, very tricky to see what's really going on. Now, that weekly chart is still very strong to the upside, so you don't want to fight against that. But we could be forming some sort of topping pattern here on the daily chart there as well too. So that's what I'm looking at there on the Dow Jones. And that's where it's very, very tricky. It's very, very tricky to see where we're at right now. We haven't got a very, very clear indication. What I do believe, once again, guys, because we spent so much time going up, is we need some more time going sideways. And like with this S&P 500, right? Look at this S&P 500. The S&P 500 has had such a big upward move that I don't believe this move here. I don't believe the market is not likely to hold here and then continue up to break up to all-time new highs. The market's just not likely to do that. And so by looking at the markets, right, and by looking at this here, by looking at this very big long move from here to here, we've used so much energy, and now we're having a bit of a pullback through here. That again, there's a very high probability that we're about to turn around here and spend some more time to the downside, or at least continue going sideways for a while before it does what it needs to do. Because we haven't had enough time going sideways. We've had so much movement to the upside that again, I just don't believe that there. So look at this weekly chart. Okay, this weekly chart really says the story here quite well. Very big long move up and just a bit of a pullback through here. So we haven't had a big pullback at all. We haven't had enough time going sideways. We haven't had enough time resting to go for another big run. So we need more time. Time simply means a sideways movement or a bit more of a pullback or whatever before it goes for another big run. So that's what we're looking at there on the S&P 500, and same for the Nasdaq as well too. Okay, so same for the Nasdaq as well too. We've had this very big long run up. We had a nice pullback through here. Yes, we're getting a little bit of a bounce through here, but I don't believe that this is now likely to hold here and continue to rally back up. And that's where, like you've seen over my last week's worth of market updates, is that on the daily charts, right? I'm saying, we could be getting a leg down. That daily chart is holding, that weekly chart is holding strong. But again, it's not, I don't believe that we're done yet on the downside just yet. I'm not saying the market's going to correct and we're going to break to an all-time new low for the year. Okay, I'm not saying that. I just don't believe that we're getting ready to hold here and continue to rally up to all-time new high. I believe I believe that there's more downside likely to come out of this one. Again, that's just my guessing there, guys. There's no certainty on that. And why I'm saying that is, again, because we've had so much upward movement through here that a little bit more time, a little bit more downward movement overall, just to get a bit more time here, a bit more sideways, a bit more of a pullback out of this would be ideal, and exactly what the market needs to balance it out, to balance itself out, to then go for another run, to go for a big run. And that's where, like, and especially where we are right now, you can see that we had a big drop down and a rally back up. Again, I just don't see this. I see this thing rolling over and having another move down to the downside. Now, when's that going to happen? We may get some more upside upward. We may get some more upside movement, in the next couple of days. No one can predict day by day by day. But on the overall general basis of what we're looking at here, looking at the Nasdaq once again, is that I just don't believe we're done here before we break up to a new high, or if we're going to break up to a new high, that is. We don't have that there. Again, we need more time through here. So again, I wouldn't be too surprised if this thing started to roll over, just like it did back here in late October. We had a very strong rally up, had a drop, then we had a rally, then we had another drop and a rally, and then a drop. So I wouldn't be too surprised to see a lower high here coming into play. Same for the S&P 500, right? We really haven't had any lower high here yet. We've had a move down, and now it's, to me, it's likely to create some sort of lower high here before we start to roll over again. Again, I'm not calling for a crash or a massive pullback. What I'm calling for is more time here. More time here. Okay, so more time through here, maybe develop some sort of right shoulder or a major lower high before the market does what it wants to do from there. So that's the way to analyze the markets. Now, I had a question on one of the video that I did yesterday. And the video that I did yesterday was my trading results, my biggest breakthrough in trading. And if you haven't seen that, then I recommend going and watch it if you want to start to get ahead in trading, because I walked through my trading results this year and so on and so forth in the stock market. One of the people said, how do I identify the stocks to trade? I don't identify stocks to trade. I trade the stocks that meet my trading setup that I'm looking for, and that's what I'm looking for, right? Is a particular trading setup. What the chart looks like for me to get in and get out of these markets. So that's what I'm looking at there right now in the Dow Jones, guys. As you can see, it's very, very tricky right now. Once again, the whole thing about this, guys, is that we've gone up so fast and so high in a pretty vertical fashion that we're likely to see a bit more downside out of this, a bit more of a pullback. You know, I'm not calling for a crash or download here. I'm just calling for more sideways movement or more of a downward phase before the market does what it needs to do. Now, bear in mind, guys, that we do know we're getting towards the end of this boom phase, and we're getting ready to go into a recession phase. Right now, remember, a recession, stock market crash, all that sort of stuff, right, happens over a good couple of years, right? Remember, 2008 was 2008. In fact, it was the middle of 2007 that the peak was in the stock market. And it took all the way through to very close to the middle of 2009 before it found the bottom. So don't be trying to, because no one knows exactly what's going to happen, right? We can just follow along what the market's telling us right now. Don't be trying to think that you want to get in right now because you think there's going to be some sort of, you know, black swan event and all this sort of garbage. It's just you if you do that, it's not a very good sort of way to be able to trade the markets there. What you want to be able to do, guys, is remember, guys, that yes, we are getting closer towards that where we're going to start that downward phase, but the market will let us know, right? You can never pick the bottom in the market. You can never pick the top in the market. And anyone that says they can, I guarantee you 9 times out of 10, they're wrong. And the time that they say, look, I called the bottom, they had 10 calls just before that it wasn't the bottom there. So that's what you want to be able to do. So just please bear that, keep that in mind when you're trading. Okay, don't be in such a rush to get into these markets right now because you want to get in and you want to benefit from the market collapse. And I'm fearful of missing out and all this sort of stuff that goes through your mind, because it's only going to stop you from getting ahead. In fact, it's going to cause you to lose money. I can guarantee it, because that's what happened to me so many times until I got it. Right? Remember, the market will slowly unfold on the downside. It won't just happen in one day. It'll do what it's doing now, right? It'll go for a drop and then it'll have a bit of a pullback, and then it'll go for a drop and then have a bit of a pullback. So, so there's a bit of an update there on that there. One thing I do say, guys, is that I did a video when we got a breakout here, and I said, you know what, we're getting ready to break up to a new high here on gold. Gold is really taken off like a rocket. When we got this breakout bar here, that's when I said we're getting ready for a breakup to a new high for the year. And we slightly did that on Friday's action there. The one thing that I do see, guys, is that on gold itself, looking at gold here on this very nice move to the upside, something underneath the surface is not quite right. And what I mean by that is that we're now getting a lot of big movement finally out of gold, shows you and tells you that something is not right. Now we know that to be true. And we know something is not right under the surface because we've got, you know, inverted yield curve as well too. We know that that they're probably going to start to drop interest rates. Why? Because things are not right. So there's a lot of things that's happening underneath the surface right now that's going on fundamentally in the markets. Now, when we're trading the markets, right, we can't trade that. You can't trade based on what you think the Fed is going to do. because you just can't do that. You only can trade based on a setup that you believe in. But there's a lot of buying coming into gold right now, a lot of that. And what we're seeing right now on this weekly chart is that, man, we're getting ready to finally break out of this, maybe call it almost a decade lull in gold. And same for gold stocks as well too. And it's just going to be phenomenal movement in these here, right? We're getting, I truly believe we're getting very close to seeing that. And that's where, like, for me personally, I do have my long-term investments are in gold stocks. Long-term investments, that is. Meaning I don't care what it does day by day or week by week or month by month. Right? Same with the GDX as well too. Right? Look at this GDX here. Right? This is the weekly chart here. It's starting to really pick up now. This is it here. I did a video even on the gold stocks when we had this bit of a gap up here. I'm like, this is a breakaway gap. We're now likely to go for a run. So I do have longer term positions, guys. More investing positions in gold stocks and gold itself, because the next 5 years is going to be incredible for those. When that really starts to pick up, we don't know. It's already starting to pick up now, so it's going to be quite incredible movement in the markets there. So that's what's happening right now, guys. A bit of an update for you guys. Just one thing I want you to bear in mind as well too, if you are one of these people that likes to watch the news, if you are one of these people that likes to read the newspapers and all this sort of stuff, what you want to do is you want to try to look behind what the news is really talking about, because you can't trade based on a news announcement or something like that to help you get ahead in the markets. The news is generally the opposite of what's really going to happen. Like, for example, if they start talking about Bitcoin again, you better be careful about getting into Bitcoin and so on and so forth. So that's what I wanted to cover for in this here, guys. If you are trading the markets right now and you're having a hard time getting ahead in the markets, and you're having a hard time understanding these markets, understanding how to read the charts and stuff like that, then firstly, make sure you go down to johnsflashsale.com and grab that $7 sale. But also understand this, okay? Understand this. If you do really want to get ahead in these markets and you are serious about trading these markets, trade these markets successfully is never about saying, okay, here's where the Dow Jones is. I know exactly what's going to happen tomorrow, and so therefore I'm going to trade it. And then the next day, I know exactly what's going to happen the next day and trade it. I know exactly what's going to happen the next day and trade it. That's not successful trading. That's just gambling, really, right? Successful trading is, and the way that I trade is about based on proven plan, which simply means that I go through my stocks, right? So I go through all these stocks. Now, I don't do this, but I go through my scans every single day, and I have a certain setup that I'm looking for on the chart. And then my job is just to wait for that certain setup. Now, whatever the setup is for you guys, it's whatever, whoever you follow, and whatever course you're part of, whether it's my coaching or someone else's course or whatever, just follow something. Because remember, 90% of your success in these markets is going to come from you. It's not going to come from you knowing the insider secret or thinking that you need to know exactly what's going to happen tomorrow or 2 days from now, all that sort of stuff. It's going to come from you. Because I can guarantee you one thing right now, probably 95% of the people that are listening right now and watching this, even the replay, are not doing well. And you're not doing well for one reason. You are not following one simple plan every single time. You think you need to know the secret sauce, and all this sort of stuff. Please, guys, please, if you really want to become a good trader, if you really want to become part of these markets and do well in this world called trading, then you need to abide by the successful foundational trading rules. If you don't, you're going to get pain. It's guaranteed. What are those foundational rules? Find one simple setup that you believe in and trade that every single time, and know that not every single trade is going to be a profitable trade, because there's a win-loss ratio in every single system. So some trades are going to be home runs, some trades are not, so on and so forth. That's how you truly get ahead in the markets. And if you are throwing 50% of your trading account or 100% of your trading account and trying to make really good money really, really quickly, I can guarantee you almost every single time you are going to go backwards, because you're rushing it, you're forcing it, you're not getting in based on probability, and it's not going to work out for you. I really want you guys to do really well. I really want you to do so well for the next 6 months that you can just crush it in these markets. But if you want to do that, then you need to start to apply the foundational rules to successfully trading these markets. And how you do that is find a setup, whether it's a flag formation, divergence, trendline breakouts, whatever it is. But find that one thing that you like and that you believe in. Then figure out whatever that win-loss ratio is, because it's going to have a win-loss ratio. Okay? Find out whatever that win-loss ratio is within that system. And then secondly, when you do start to trade it, know that any given one trade could be part of that win in the win-loss ratio and the loss in the loss ratio. You don't know up front. So stop trying to be right with the market. Stop trying to think you need to know exactly what's going to happen tomorrow on this one particular trade for you to make money long term. Because you don't know. Successful trading is about probability. Probability comes over a basket of trades. You take 20 trades of the exact same thing every time, then you'll see your probability. If you guys watched my video yesterday, you would have seen that I've had only 8 trades on the stock market right now. I had 1 loss. In fact, that loss only come from my error. So I know you can see my success rate. That's the reason my success rate is so high, because I don't trade a lot, but I trade a system that's very high probability that gives me the confidence to put more money on per trade. I should have had 100% success rate, but it's only 8 trades, right? But again, guys, you don't need a lot of trades to do really well in the markets. People think you need to trade a lot, and the opposites are true in the markets, guys. Okay, the opposites are true in the markets. What I mean by that is this: if you are going to trade a trading system that is going to trade a lot, it's very active. By default, it's going to have a lower win-loss ratio. By default, because you're going to be trading a lot, so you're going to have a lower win-loss ratio. So it might have a 65, maybe 70% win-loss ratio if you're very actively trading a particular one trading system. If you're getting a lot of signals, right? By default, you're going to have a lot of signals. Now, what is wrong with that? What the one thing that's wrong with that is that you can have, if you have a 65, 70% win-loss ratio, you can have 2 or 3 or even 4 losing trades in a row, and it still be normal for that system, because it might just be going through that. And before you know it, you might go through 7 profitable trades in a row. And then, you might go through 3 losses in a row, but that's how you get your 70%. And or you might have 3 wins and 2 losses, then another 4 wins and 2 losses and a win-loss and all that sort of stuff. That's the long term, right? I don't know about you, but I can't trade like that. I need to keep my confidence high, and I don't like to actively trade because trading is an emotional thing. I'm using my hard-earned money every single time I'm placing a trade. So for me, I want to trade. I flip it on the other scale, where I trade less but massively higher probability, where almost every single trade I take, I know it's going to run into some sort of a profit. And when you're using options, those profits still could be enormous. 40, 50% return in a couple of days is still really, really good. Let alone a couple of 100%, within sometimes a couple of weeks. And and if you can really let these things go, now you're talking 500% to 1,000% return in maybe a month or 2 if you can hold on to these longer term trades. So this is the foundational rules to applying to the markets, guys. This is the foundational rules that is so important to truly getting ahead in the markets. And if you can start to think about your trading like that, then you are going to kick ass in the markets. But please, if you want to become part of this trading world, it's not a get rich quick thing. And you've got to understand the foundational rules to truly get ahead. Firstly, find something that you like and you believe in, and understand that that thing you like and that you believe in, there's no perfect system that's going to make money every single time. Well, there is. It's actually my system that I trade. And I have to say that almost every single time I do make a profit, but I don't have a lot of trades. I wait for that A+ setup and like, bam, right? Ask any of my private clients. They know that if you find an A quality setup, it's very hard to find an A quality setup that I trade that doesn't run on for some sort of a profit. That's what gives me the confidence in it. That's why I like trading that, but I don't trade a lot. So find whatever you like, okay? Find whatever you like, whether it's my stuff, whether it's someone else's stuff, just stick to something. If you want consistent long-term results, you must be consistent at something. And if you are consistent at that something in the markets, then you're likely to get some consistent results and not go backwards all the time. And the biggest thing that causes people to go backwards is that one thing: they're not consistent. And they do that all the time. I'm going to short the stock market now because I think it's going to go down. Like I just did some market updates today for you. And I told you that I do expect to see some more of a pullback or some sort of a down move. But it doesn't mean I'm going to trade that. It's like that's just my estimate based on what I'm seeing from the charts right now. So be consistent at something. Find something that you believe in, which is it could be using indicators, it could be using something like, I don't know. For me, my simple system is that I use the chart, a moving average, and volume. That's all I use. And I have a 90+%. It's actually a lot more than that. You know, it's very high win. I had a massively high win loss ratio. So if you're thinking that you need a lot of indicators to do really well, in fact, that's going to cause you a lot of confusion. I have found that I used to trade with a lot of stuff. RSI, stochastics. I used to use MACD. I used to use about 4 moving averages, Bollinger Bands. It was nuts, absolutely nuts. And so please, guys, please, if you want to do really well in the markets, I want you to do really well in the markets. And you can. You just got to sort your crap out in order of, okay, there's all these courses out there that teach different trading setups. Just find one that you like and stick to it. And know that that one system is going to have a win-loss ratio. You need to figure that out before you start to trade live. And then secondly, when you do start to trade live, know that the trade you're about to take today could be part of the loss in the loss ratio. Because you cannot predict that up front. Successful trading is not about, whoa, you didn't get it right, John. Whatever. Stop trying to be right with the markets. That right and wrong with the markets doesn't exist. It's like, did you do your job, yes or no? Your job is, are you consistent? Because if you want consistent long-term results in the markets, you must be consistent at trading the markets at one setup and knowing what that win-loss ratio is and having very good risk management, where I like to call it the sweet spot, where the losses are not hurting you and the wins are not exciting you. And when the losses are not hurting you, you can get into this, say, you know what, this is my setup. I'm going to take it. I'm doing my job right now. And if this is a losing trade right now, I'm not going to be oblivious to say, no, it's not going to be profit. It's not going to be a losing trade. It's going to make a massive profit. Throw that ego out the window because there is no room in the market for this. Except up front, if this is a losing trade right now, if this is part of the loss ratio, which it could be, is this the setup that I'm looking for, yes or no? Oh, well, it's kind of, no, it's not a trade. No, it's not a trade. Well, it meets the rules. 80% of the rules meet this. That's almost there, right? No, it's not a trade. That's where the discipline comes into it. The three main foundational rules for you: consistently trading the markets, then discipline. Discipline saying no. If I see a setup that meets these rules 100% of the time, I'm going to take it. And I know if I take that, I'm going to have a 70% win-loss ratio. What for me personally, I know if I made an A quality setup, I'm going to have almost 100% win-loss ratio. And I know that sounds crazy, but it's just the facts. Now, what I mean by that is that some of the profits are going to be small profits, like maybe even a 30 or 40% using options, and some of them are going to be a couple of 100% return using options. That's what I mean. It's going to generate some sort of a profit. But you can do so well out of these markets, guys. You can. Please throw your ego out the window, because the market there's no need for that. And if you are serious about getting ahead of these markets, this is how you need to apply. If you want to be part of this trading world, this is how you need to start to apply your trading to this here, because you can do well out of the markets. Are you consistent at trading one setup? Are you disciplined? And especially, are you patient? Because if you haven't had a trade for a whole week, are you freaking out and now taking shit trades? Because that's where you go wrong as well too. Consistently, discipline, and patience. You apply those foundational rules. You do that to a system, you're going to rock out. I don't care what you do. I don't care if you've got a 70% win-loss ratio. And especially if you're now trading where the wins are not exciting and the losses are not hurting you, now you can start to really build a strong foundation for the rest of your life. The rest of your life. And that's how you truly get ahead. See, it's never about saying, well, I like to trade gold stocks, so I'm just going to buy gold stocks because I think this gold stock is a good idea. Investing is a different thing, guys. Investing long-term is a different thing. So guys, if you haven't done so yet, guys, make sure you go down to johnsflashsale.com, johnsflashsale.com. I'm running a special offer here on my breakthrough trading course, just $7, and you can get access to that right now. So go to johnsflashsale.com. You can read what's in here, and you also get a money back guarantee as well too if you're not happy with it. So go there right now and make sure you grab that. Let me answer some questions here. Dead cat bounce? Maybe. You're probably talking about the markets there. I saw that before, DJ. So if you've got any questions, guys, put them in the chat box and then I'll finish up here. And once you lose down to zero, you can't win again. Perhaps if you're losing down to zero, then you are doing something seriously wrong. Seriously wrong. Because if you have 2 or 3 losing trades in a row, you shouldn't be risking that. Shouldn't equal any more than 10% of your account. If you're doing that, you're doing something seriously wrong with your risk management. Because with me, if I have a losing trade, my account is down maybe 2, maybe 3% on a losing trade for me. If it's a profitable trade, my account can be up anywhere between 5 and 15%. So that's my risk reward. Anywhere between 1 to 3% is my average. If I do have a loss, I know that's what my loss is going to be on my account. But if it's a profitable trade, then I know my average profit can generate anywhere between the 2.5 on a low scale and on a high scale, 15% return on my account on one trade. So again, I'm trying to keep that balance there. So if I have 3 losing trades in a row, which is if I do, I'm not trading the system right because I'm just not picking good quality setups. I know at the end of the day, my account's not going to be down any more than 10%. You're trading way too much if you do that. If your account's down 50%, you're trading way too much. Way too much. Or either you're trading an instrument where you're letting your losses just turn into massive losses. That's why I personally love trading options. Trade less, profit more. Exactly right, Shauna Woods. Exactly right. The analogy with that there is is when you are trading the markets. Okay, when you are trading the markets, think about that, right? Because remember, 90% of your success is going to come from your emotional, right? Your emotions. It's how you are emotionally in the markets. Because I can give you an amazing trading system, but what happens if you get into a trade? Like, I'll give you guys an example, all right? There was a trade that I took here just recently. This is on this MYL here, all right? This is a real trade that we took. It was actually me and my private clients. We all took this trade. Here's the thing, okay? On this breakout bar right here, we got into this trade. Now, depend on how much money some of my how much risk they had on their account on this trade, or all that sort of stuff. What happens is that now they get emotional, right? So I got into this trade, and I know within a week or so that most of my trades are going to run off a profit. It might go sideways a bit, it might pull back a little bit against the trade, but I know within a week or so, it's going to generate some sort of profit. And so what happened was, this is your emotional balance, right? So what happens, I know some of my private clients, they freaked out. So as you can see, right, 1-2 days later, it started to pull back against the trade just slightly. But there was no problem with me, because I'm like, okay, I already know my risk on this trade. Just let the market do its thing. There's no need. It's not like the trade didn't work out because it didn't go one way. It's like one day. It's like, no, I let the trade go. Some of my private clients actually got out for a loss when they shouldn't have, because there was no reason to get out of the trade. It's when the market doesn't have a breakout bar like this, sometimes it's going to go sideways for a little bit and then do its thing. Right. And then guess what happened? And then suddenly what happened? Eventually it ran down for a really nice profit. Now I picked a nice profit up out of this, and one of my private clients picked up almost 300% return on this trade. He got more than me, right? It started running down through here. I think I got like halfway down through here, and I'm like, oh, that was me. I had a really nice profit as well too. Thank you very much. And then my private client posted on the Facebook group, because we with my private clients, we talk every single day. On the Facebook group, you say, John, I'm at 300% return. I'm just like, take the profit, say thank you very much, and move on. So he killed it on this trade here, 300% return on the options there. So he did so well. I was so proud of him. So as you can see, right, the mixed bag, there was the private clients who are risking too much, who get so emotional about a little bit of a pullback, they jumped out, even though they shouldn't have, and they had a losing trade. And the people that weren't risking too much, they just let the trade do what it needs to do. And then guess what? And then suddenly we actually had a nice downward movement. And then most of my private clients actually picked up a really nice return on here. Again, one of my private clients, 300%, just crazy. It was pretty crazy. So the really interesting thing about my private client group is I actually talked about that, how you need to be patient. And so our very next trade that we got into, that was before that happened just recently. Which one was that? The trade that we got into just recently, which was not that one. SDR. No, not that one. All right, this one here. All right. So this one here. So I was very proud of my private clients, because this is what I do with my private clients. I teach them emotional balance as well too, right? So we got in on this breakout bar here, right? We got on this breakout bar here, and because I told them, listen, you need to sometimes be patient with these trades. This is where you get out, so on and so forth. And so this time they listened and they're patient, and guess what happened? And just recently the market, it took about a week's worth of sideways movement, and then it started to run on. And then they started getting out. I think some of my private clients recently got out for a 40 or 50% return on the trade. And as you can see, right, that's why I love that. That's what I love about options, because when the market doesn't have to move too much to generate even a nice return, like 40% return on that, and the market hardly moved. That's why I love options. And you can limit your risk when you're buying options. I buy options only. So if I put 5% on my account, I know at the end of the day, that's my maximum risk that I can lose at the end of the day. Now you don't always lose, don't lose that, but I mean, you can get out with a 40 or 50% loss and so on and so forth. So this is just another example. And so this time the private clients who got emotional the first time, I told them, listen, you need to be patient. Give these trades some time. Because if the market's starting to do this against the trade like this, yes, you know you got into a false breakout and you need to get out of the trade. Now, I have set of rules to tell me whether it's likely to be that. So we very rarely get into that sort of stuff. But if you do, then yes, get out of the trade. But if it just goes sideways for a little bit, just like that first trade that I told you there, that's where I'm coaching my private clients saying, listen, this is emotionally, and this time ran down, and pretty much all my private clients were on this, I'm pretty sure. And we all made a really nice profit trade out of this one. Now, again, it's not a massive profit, but again, it's about being consistent. I want trades that I know that most of the time are going to run on for some profit. Whether it's a 40 or 50% return, or whether it's a 300% return, I don't know. Just keep giving to me, baby. Thank you very much. Next. John, check out ALL. ALL. I'm not sure. We're definitely getting very, very close to a lot of resistance up here. So if we did get a bit more upward movement, I expect this market to and we've been going up for a long time as well too. So it does look like to me, yeah, we're running up to this resistance here. Let's continue on here now, guys. Again, guys, if you haven't done so yet, if you do need help with your trading, then make sure you go down to johnsflashsale.com and grab that breakthrough trading course. It's going to give you some foundational stuff that we're talking about here to help you. It's just $7, just to help you guys out. Johns, JOHNS, flashsale.com. I think we'll have another crash this October or next October. Maybe. I think that's a long way out. There's a lot of thought. There's a lot of hope there. We may. The charts will start to signal if we're going to start to see a big leg down again. We'll start to see that. Now, what will be the key indication we'll start to see? We'll start to see this. Let's bring this up here. We will start to see this here. Okay. So, and guys, you know what? For you guys that are listening right now, I do this and I do these videos because I really do care about your success in the markets. And I don't want you to go through that. Man, I'm getting emotional now. I don't want you to go through that pain that I went through for so long and trying to figure it out with these markets. Like I had so many, I remember my first couple of years, I was $250,000 in debt. And I just got married to my wife and you know, and I lost everything. I lost the house we just bought. I lost the car that I bought for her. We had to move back with her mother-in-law and sleep on an old mattress in a spare bedroom just to figure this thing out. It's like I was just so much, and I was in debt because I borrowed money to thinking because I got lucky, right? For the first 6 months, I made a lot of money or made good money. I knew it, so I borrowed money and I just completely went downhill from there big time. And so I really want you to do so well. I've been doing this for 15 years now. And it took me so long going through course after course after course after course, getting coaching from seven-figure traders and studying and looking at the common traits amongst successful traders and non-successful traders and the way that I was trading and what makes him successful. Why did he make $1 million and I can't even make 100 grand? And so on and so forth. And then when I started to do that, that's when I started to do really, really well. And I started to pick up my trading and so on and so forth. So guys, I do these things because I really do care for you. I want you to do so well. And if you can just start to apply some of these things to your trading, you can crush it in the markets and you can have a life full of certainty that no matter what happens in your life, you are going to do well. You could go through a complete wipeout and know that once you know how to trade these markets successfully, there's no going back, because once you know, you can't unknow. You can take everything away from me, You can take my money, you can take everything away from me. And if I had to go back and work a normal job again, and my full-time and most of my income didn't come from, because most of my income comes from my trading, and then I have a portion of my income comes from my coaching clients and what I do with the business and stuff like that. But most of my income comes from my trading. If for something reason happening to my trading and I completely lost that and I had to go work for another job, I know that I'll be back making at least six figures, you know, and then gradually get back up to where I am right now. But I know I'll be making at least six figures, I reckon, within 6 months. if I had to start from absolute scratch within 6 months from the markets and then building up from there. It's not that I'm lucky. It's because once you know, you can't unknow, which means you know what to look for. You know how to trade these markets. So if I had a $5,000 trading account starting again, I know that I'm not going to be putting 2.5 grand per trade. Like, I know I have to have the, consistency, and the wins are not exciting me and the losses not hurting me, and to do my job and so on and so forth. And then I knew that, as before, I know that I'm doing at least 6 figures, which means 100 grand a year, within 6 months of doing that. And then again, I'll gradually get back up to where I am right now, where I am right now. And so please, guys, please, you can do so well. And I feel for you. If you are serious about this trading gig, this trading world, you can do so well from that. But please, stop thinking you need to be active and you need to be right with the market and all that sort of stuff, because I believe in you. Just focus more on, ask yourself, are you being consistent? Ask yourself, are you being disciplined? Ask yourself, are you being consistent, patient? Because guys, if you really do need my help as a coach on this sort of stuff, then just email me at howtrader@gmail.com, HOWELL trader@gmail.com, and then you might be a good fit for my coaching program. But guys, I believe in you, all right? And it doesn't matter where you're starting from. It doesn't matter what you do. If you can develop the foundational habits of what I'm talking about here, you can take a small trading account and be patient with it. And within 6 or 12 months, you can absolutely kick ass. Because I said to one of my private clients just recently on the Facebook group, because I'm there every single day and every single week I'm doing a live coaching call with them. But every single day we're all talking on the Facebook group, because it's one big community. It's like a mastermind that we have there, and it's phenomenal group. And I said to one of the private clients, because he was down on himself. That was the same private client who didn't stick to the plan. That second trade that I showed you, where it did eventually make the profit. It did that trade that ran in the profit, where some people actually made a loss. And then so he was actually down on himself. And I said, don't be down on yourself, because the next trade he took, he actually made a profit. But I said, don't be down on yourself, because I said, you know what it takes. You've been watching and so on and so forth. You know what it takes to be a long-term successful trader, where most traders are just getting their heads handed to them right now. So put your head up and about that. So you were saying about the October crash. If we're going to get some sort of October crash, well, we're going to get a lower high in the markets here. Okay, we're going to get some sort of lower high here, and just something like this here, right? Where we got this lower high here, a lower high here, and then we start to break some sort of support levels. So if we're going to see a decent selling leg in the markets, we're going to see that first. So if I go to the S&P 500, right? Same sort of thing here. We had what? Let's do this here. We had lower high. We had this low, a little bit of congestion point, and then guess what? And then we started what? Then we broke this support level. As soon as we broke the support level, that's when what? That's when we really started to see a leg down. You see that there? So if we're going to see another October drop in the markets, we're likely to see something like that, where we are right now. And then the market's going to likely sell off. Same thing happened with the Nasdaq, right? High, lower high, bit of a sideways movement. And then once it broke support, then we had a nice movement down. We can't predict when politicians will manipulate the markets. Perhaps, no, that's not true. Politicians can't manipulate the markets, right? They really cannot. Like, you may think they do, but the thing is this, is that it's not like the politicians. Like, are you telling me that, if that's true, that if the Fed says something, if the government says something, if the politician says something, that they're going to manipulate every single stock and call it in the S&P 500? I don't think so. Right? No, they're not. It's just it's what's happening right now. Success for you, perhaps, is following one simple plan and only taking that one simple plan. So the markets are not, yes, you can call the markets manipulated, but who cares about that, right? Success is not based on getting it right every single day in every single trade. Hey, John, been a while. Nice spike, gap up on the ES. Oh, really? On the futures? Let me go to investing.com and let me have a look at the futures here. All right, so this is investing.com. Let's go to the futures here. Let's go to candles. Oh, it's not that much. It's not that much. If we have a look at this here, right? So I'm looking at the futures market right now. And no, it's not that much. And as you can see, right, we've had this move down. So yes, we had a nice move up through here. So again, it's just going to be really interesting to see what happens. We've had this such a large upward movement here that I reckon we're going to create some sort of lower high here soon. If we go to the short-term chart, say 1 hour. Oh, yeah, I see that. Yeah, that gap is definitely getting filled, by the way, guys. I can see that on the short term there. So that gap is definitely going to get filled. John, what are your thoughts on the 5G stocks rumor from hedge funds? Has it that you're all going to spike? They're all going to spike 500%, like at them AMT, for example. I don't know if I trust it though. What are your thoughts on the 5G stock rumors? I don't really have any thoughts about it. It's rumors for a reason. And you can never predict a 500% spike in a stock or anything like that. Let's just say, for example, Paleo, you do, right? Let's just say, for example, you get lucky, right? And let's just say you put 100% of your account on one stock and that thing spikes 500%, right? 500%. It spikes like crazy. You're like, whoa. And you made, your account went from 10 grand to 50 grand overnight. Let's just say that happens. Cool. Tell me how you can repeat that for the rest of your life and know that you have confidence that you can keep doing that again and again and again. You can't, can you? So even if you did make money on that one single investment and you made a lot of money, I guarantee you the very next time you think it's going to happen, you're going to do the exact same thing. And not only are you going to lose all that profit you made, you're probably going to zero your account out. It happens every single time. Why? Because that success you made or that money you made wasn't based on a habit and a proven plan. It was based on pure luck. That was me, right? When I first started trading, I was pure luck. Like I started buying things. I started buying call options. I used to trade the Aussie options, just buying options. And because we're in a big bull market, I thought I got it right. 3 months later, things started turning and like, what's going on here? And then, I went from king to king shit real quick. It's like, what the hell's going on here? So that's what I'm saying there, Paleo. Okay, so you don't really want to be focusing on things like that, like trying to predict the big, massive moves and all that sort of stuff, because it's not predictable, repeatable for long-term success for the rest of your life. You want to be focused on something that you know that if you trade this every single time for the next 6-12 months, you're going to do really well over the next 12 months. Yes, you're going to have some losing trades, but you're going to do really well. You can have a good sell-out foundation. If you stick to that, you're going to do really well. And if you do that for the rest of your life, you know now that you can make money from the stock market. That's what you want, right? You want a repeatable process to know that if I take this one setup, I know out of 10 trades, most of the time I'm going to have 80% or 70% success rate, if that's what your success rate is in the system. Hey, John. Oh, hey, investment futures and finance. Hope you're doing well, man. Politicians' tweets are catalysts for existing market trends. Not really. Not really. Because the tweet right now, like, I don't think a tweet, they say it moves the market, but it may move the market for an hour or two. Or on the bigger picture, it doesn't really do that there. So there we go, guys. Once again, guys, if you haven't done so yet, make sure you head on down to johnsflashsale.com. Grab the $7 trading course right now, my breakthrough master trading course. And you can see on the page here, it's for today only, and you can get access to all the different videos here, trading systems, just to get yourself. It's really here to give you a breakthrough if you need that in your trading. And again, I'm running a special offer to help you guys out. So johnsflashsale.com. Have an amazing day, guys, and I will speak to you next time.